The gods of Theros are a bewildering spectacle to the mortals who worship them. Theros has seen the rise and fall of gods before, but what about those lost to the Pantheon, missing from Nyx, yet still a powerful force on the plane? That seems to be the story for the newest god from Theros Beyond Death, and with their return, the very destiny of Theros hangs in the balance. Today we'll explore what the cards don't tell you about the newest god of the Pantheon on Theros, Klothys, god of Destiny. Hey guys, and welcome back to the Aether Hub. Simon here, bringing you more Magic the Gathering lore. With Theros Beyond Death, we make our return to one of my favorite worlds, mostly because I love enchantments, but also because Theros is home to the most compelling pantheon of gods you're likely to find in the multiverse. And that pantheon who defines this plane, and each story taking place on Theros just grew a little bigger. Introducing the god of destiny, Klothys, which I'm sure I'm butchering that pronunciation. Correct me in the comments. Now, I say Klothys is a new god, but that isn't 100% true. The fact of the matter is that the god of destiny has been lost to Nyx and the Pantheon of Theros for an untold number of generations. Lost from that beautiful starry night sky, but not to those who believe in fate. That there are no random occurrences in the grand scheme of life, that destiny can't be avoided. That unbeknownst devotion to this abstract concept is what created Klothys and sustained her in her exile. So where's Klothys been all this time? She wasn't around during our first trip to Theros, so where was she? Well, there were a number of references to fate and destiny in the original set, namely some legendary creatures like Triad of Fates and Fate Unraveler, who has a quote from Parasophia the philosopher, quote, "Never forget that the life you've built can be undone by a single loose thread," end quote. These may be loose connections to Klothys and the idea of fate, but that quote? Well, just take a quick look at the hand of Klothys. Her left hand has a sharpened golden claw. In Greek mythos, the strings of fate can be cut with a nail. It's a not so subtle design choice, tying Klothys to her acting on the destinies of others. And yes, I know these cards from original Theros weren't even in Klothys' colors, but hey, the connection is still there and strong. In Klothys' absence, others picked up on the magic of fate weaving and manipulating the fortunes and destinies of others. Oracles are a good example of those who can foresee events yet to unfold, to describe with surprising clarity the fate to befall others. These secrets are often granted to worshippers of specific gods and polises, helping to drum up devotion with secrets to life and promises of fortune and power to those who gain favor. The fates on Theros, one being Andrastia, practice in a more forbidden type of fate weaving, one granted by no god in the known pantheon at that time. These were secret lost practices bound by rules set by a being even powerful mages didn't understand. We now know that the rules of fate weaving were set by Klothys, but that was virtually unknown until Beyond Death. One of the most famous worshippers of Klothys' practice, unbeknownst to her, was Temna. She's an oracle of Miletus, a major polis on Theros, who became an accomplished fate weaver, bending events like a string in a web. Though she didn't fully understand the power she and others like the Fates were tapping into, Klothys relished in the Underworld at their practice. While still worshipped in a roundabout way by the mortals on Theros, Klothys herself has been hanging out not in Nyx, the realm of the gods, but the Underworld, the domain of the dead, the ultimate destiny of the mortals on Theros. Though she didn't choose to chill with Erebos, god of the dead, she was stuck there, as it was her own destiny. Still, Klothys, like the other gods on the Pantheon, bestows boons, like enchantments, to those who devote their lives to the worship of destiny. Like Klothys, the god of horizons and the unknown, Klothys grants her devoted a foresight to events never before seen, a glimpse into the fates of others, what awaits their destiny. Klothys is the god of destiny, so knowing what fate has in store for people is kind of her thing. She grants that sight to those committed to upholding the tenets of destiny no matter what. These are people on Theros who are shown visions of their own demise, and tested to see if they want to prevent that event from happening. Should they accept their fate, Klothys may just make them an oracle in her name and grant them her unique powers. In terms of the god's personality, she's very much a red-green aligned entity. She replaces the fallen usurper god Xenagos, the god of revels, and Planeswalker who managed to sneak his way into the Pantheon, only to be cut down and killed and nixed by Elspeth, the champion of the sun god and most powerful in the Pantheon, Heliod. Klothys isn't like Xenagos, it's not all parties and overthrowing the yoke of the gods. Klothys' personality is, I would describe as zealous. She's so protective of destiny, and that passion is so fervent that she'll go to extreme, violent, and disproportionate lengths to defend it. She's described as furious, direct, having the final say on matters, decisive and swift. She's not a god who messes around. Basically, she shares a color combination with Xenagos, but that's about it. Her story really starts near the dawn of time, when primal beings ravaged the mortal plane of Theros. These were the Titans, titanic figures and forces of nature who know nothing but wanted destruction. Fearing their savagery would put the god's life source, the devotion of mortals, at risk, the Pantheon went about imprisoning them in the Underworld. Seeing it as her destiny, Klothys cast the primals down, and as they were not dead, being primal forces, they can't really be killed, so they didn't fall under the stewardship of Erebos. This left Klothys, jailer of the Titans, in the Underworld to watch over these Titans for all time. For their release would spell the end of everything: justice, the sea, death, fate, destiny, everything on Theros. Spending all that time with the Titans in the Underworld, Klothys has gotten to know the nature of her prisoners, namely Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hunger, who Klothys was quoted as saying, quote, "Kroxa devours what he may, not for sustenance or pleasure, but because it is his nature. He is unending hunger given form," end quote. Kroxa, like the other Titans, have no other purpose than to disrupt the balance of Theros. Kroxa, resembling a Titan from Attack on Titan, will just consume until there's nothing left, even daring to tear into the starry realm of the gods Nyx if given the chance. Klothys must prevent that fate by all means necessary, and it has just become very, very necessary. But that's a story for another day. Klothys has a lot of story to bring to Theros, as she now tracks down those who would defy their fate, which includes Elspeth Tirel, who's making her escape from the Underworld, along with a whole cast of other characters, all of which spit in the face of destiny. Klothys seems to be filling a strange role in the MTG story on Theros, serving as a force opposed to Elspeth, the hero, but not exactly evil either. A zealot for destiny, sure, but she seeks to protect Theros, but fervently will defend the order of fate as decreed, for good or bad. And that's gonna do it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it and want to show support for this new god of destiny, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and of course, tick the notification bell so you never miss out on a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see ya!